She walked into that interrogation room thinking she could outsmart investigators, but within minutes, everything started to fall apart. What began as a routine case quickly turned into a shocking unraveling of lies, deception, and a food stamp fraud scheme no one saw coming. And then she said something that changed everything. This is Nancy Caraballo's confession, and it's more disturbing than anyone expected. In Cuyahoga County, what began as a quiet fraud investigation slowly unraveled into something far more disturbing. Prosecutor Michael C. O'Malley revealed that Larissa Rodriguez, already accused in a far more chilling crime, was sentenced to 6 years in prison. Alongside her, Nancy Caraballo, a children's services provider entrusted to help vulnerable families, was sentenced to 3 years behind bars. For more than 2 years, from July 2015 through December 2017, a secret exchange took place. Caraballo allegedly paid Rodriguez just 50 cents for every dollar of food stamp benefits, money intended to feed Rodriguez's children. By the time investigators uncovered the scheme, over $10,000 had been illegally traded, a betrayal that cut far deeper than financial fraud. The court ordered full restitution, but the damage had already been done. Those benefits were meant to support 5 children. One of them, 5-year-old Jordan, would later become the center of a horrifying discovery. In December, his body was found buried in the family's backyard. He hadn't been seen alive since September 2017. What started as a fraud case exposed a devastating reality. While money was being exchanged behind the scenes, a child was disappearing, unnoticed, unheard, and ultimately lost. An abusive, unfit mother and a morally bankrupt education liaison teamed up to take food out of the mouths of children for their own greed, said Prosecutor O'Malley. They deserve these sentences. In Cuyahoga County, investigators uncovered troubling details about the role Nancy Caraballo played within a system meant to protect vulnerable children. Caraballo, 45, worked as a parent educator for Bright Beginnings, an organization that provides educational services and referrals to families with young children. Employed through Catholic charities under contract with the program, her responsibilities included making monthly home visits to assess the well-being of children and connect families with needed support services. However, records later revealed that on at least 11 occasions, including in the month leading up to the discovery of a tragic secret, Caraballo submitted falsified reports indicating she had conducted home visits when she had not. These omissions meant that warning signs inside the home were never formally documented or escalated. As a mandatory reporter, Caraballo was legally required to report any signs of neglect or abuse to the appropriate authorities. Instead, investigators documented that the living conditions inside the home were in deplorable condition at the time of the child's death, conditions that went unreported despite multiple opportunities for intervention. Meanwhile, Larissa Rodriguez and her boyfriend, Christopher Rodriguez, continue to face serious charges related to the death of 5-year-old Jordan, including murder, felonious assault, endangering children, and gross abuse of a corpse. The case has drawn widespread attention not only for the tragic loss of a child, but also for the breakdown in oversight that allowed critical warning signs to go unreported.
I brought you one just in case, because I think it's hot in here today. So, we have a couple ground rules. Before we talk. We can't talk about any of Detective Habib's case that he has with you, okay?
Okay.
If you start to go down that road, then I have to stop you.
Okay.
And then I have to advise you of your rights, because obviously you're a suspect in something completely separate from what I'm investigating.
Okay.
Okay?
I see.
My focus in this interview is the children, how the children were treated, and what you can do to help me frame a picture of what kind of people I'm dealing with in Larissa and Christopher. But I need to get some basic information from you first. I know your name is Nancy Caraballo. C-A-R-A?
B-A-L-L-O.
You related to Mike?
No.
He's a friend of mine. Your date of birth is?
9/1972.
And your social? And you stay in Parma?
Yes.
What's the address?
4610 Wellington Avenue, Parma, Ohio, 44134.
And what number would I contact you at if I need to reach you?
That number, the one that you, the 773, the 216, or you go call me when I get my cell phone back. It's the 216-402-0990.
And this is, obviously it's a taped interview, okay?
Okay.
So just because people will see this tape, your name is Miguel Ortiz.
Miguel Ortiz.
And your date of birth, sir?
3/18/1970.
And your social? And you also reside at Wellington?
Yes.
And your telephone number? I know I called you at it, but
216-773-7947.
am I correct in assuming that the only person that has a relationship with Larissa and Christopher is you?
Well, I work from the program, yes.
Yes.
Yes, but
You haven't personally met
No.
them?
Well, I met her
You've met her?
before, yeah,
Have you ever been to her home?
outside. We went to deliver furniture, some stuff. When we moved in to this new location, we gave her several items, lamps, microwave. Kind of helped her out.
So you've been there?
I've been in front of the house.
Okay.
It never got out. Yeah, I did get out my car to help him unload, to help Chris, but never past the porch,
Okay.
the front steps,
Okay.
never inside.
Okay. So, and I think your relationship predates all of her children?
yeah, I worked with Mariana back in when she was a baby. Like she's 12 years old now. Through a different agency, I had worked when she first got pregnant. I had worked with Mariana going back, and I was her worker. And I was
What
working
agency was that?
Options for Family and Youth back then.
Options for Family Youth?
Yes.
Is that when your relationship begins, is with Mariana?
Yeah, that's when I met her.
So, but not Gilbert and not Angel?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Is Options for Family Youth very similar to what you work for now, Bright Beginnings?
Yes.
Okay, so is it through Catholic Charities?
No, Options for Family it was through a different funder back then because it was in 1997. So I don't remember.
Okay.
It was at that time called Early Start. Actually, it was Early Start back then during that time. But it was a whole different. like a whole different funder back then at that time.
Okay. Is it a nonprofit organization
Yes.
or is it through the state of Ohio?
No, it's a nonprofit agency.
So, are you familiar, for example, with like different residents that she would have lived at, like prior to West 80th? You've been to other
Yeah,
homes?
West 80th, and I was in before she used to live in Willowdale. Before that, she lived in Willowdale, and back during that time when Mariana was little, or whatever, she also lived by Bridge, around Bridge, the Bridge area, and she lived lived right there by Ohio City. It was like close to West 30th, around there. Can't
Okay.
remember quite well because this was like a long time ago.
Okay. Were you involved then through the births of the other children, or?
I was only involved for Mariana to be part of, to work with mom. I was involved for Milton.
Mm-hmm.
Milton, and I also used to come out for Nevaeh, but her father did take full custody of her.
Mm-hmm.
So after he got done with that or whatever, I never was part of that no more. And then I was part of I would come out for Anthony Cummins,
Mm-hmm.
Tatiana, and Mia Rodriguez.
Okay.
I never came out for Jordan because Jordan was a special needs child, and our agency in our program didn't work with special needs kids. So from the get-go, when he was born and stuff like that, he was affiliated to early intervention, and the hospital did all that. So I never did services for Jordan.
Is he special needs by virtue of the fact that he's premature, alone?
Yeah, he was preemie, and then he had a lot of other issues that was going on with him. But I'm not really sure about all the other issues. I know he had problems talking, and he was very delayed in his development, the way he was developing.
Have you been around a lot of children?
Yeah, I've been around a lot of children.
So, and I'm not a medical person. I don't know, but I didn't know, is this child, I read his reports from the Board of Education. I would guess that he fell somewhere on the autistic spectrum.
Yes.
And I think, are you familiar with Michelle Rodriguez also, or you don't know her?
I never met her, Michelle Rodriguez. I met Anna.
Okay. Because Anna lived there.
Yeah, Anna lived there, but I didn't associate with Anna like that. But I just, she was a couple of times she did live there, and if I would do a home visit, sometimes Anna would be there.
What's your off the record opinion of Anna?
Well, she has her own issues with other things. I only know from what Larissa had told me that she had issues with. I didn't know Anna to that level, but I know that she also had her own
right.
drug
does
problems.
Not have custody of her children.
Yeah, does not have. She's in and out of this, in and out of the system too.
Right,
So.
which wouldn't surprise me given the life that they've had.
Yes.
However, it's striking to me that one of the oldest child, Michelle,
Mm-hmm.
seems fairly well grounded in that she's in a relationship of a long period of time with 4 children, and she also has an autistic child.
Yes, Larissa used to say that she was the one that was like the outcast, because she was like the one that had it everything together. That's what Larissa would say. She really never spoke too much of Michelle, but when she did, she said that she was the one that was had things together, married, and
Yeah, for double digits, almost 2 decades, and seems to be the individual that attempted to reach out and say, listen, although this child has special needs, this is not an unworkable situation.
Yes.
So did you ever personally spend time with Jordan when you went over to the house?
No, because Jordan, well, he was getting services a long time ago. I don't, offhand, I know early intervention was coming out, but I really not sure, what they did, for a while, she was doing when she was coming out, the lady, because, he was, I never had him in my case or nothing like that. But
Mm-hmm.
for when when she lived in Willowdale, he was little back then, and he would, he would he was just would be like a regular normal child, like get around and things like that. Like he had his issues and stuff like that.
Like what are his issues?
He can't talk. He can't talk. He had he from what I know, he was having issues with potty training and things like that. Things like that have been really hard for him. You know.
Did you ever get a sense that she was out of patience with him?
No. The thing is, I never really seen Jordan that much. You know, I never really like seen Jordan a lot. I'm just speaking as of West 80th. Like when she moved there, I think I've seen him maybe one time, and then last year, 2017, maybe like early around springtime, I had asked her. Well, it was one time that I came to the visit, and I had asked her about Jordan, and she's like, "Oh, somebody's caring for Jordan." That's what she told me, that somebody was caring for him, and you know, I kind of didn't think nothing about it because I believed her. You know, I kind of believed what she was saying to me. And then, you know, when I was there, I would see Tatiana, I would see the ones that were involved in the program with me, and I wouldn't think nothing of it. And you know, and then when there was days off that the older kids were home, it would be Mariana and Milton home, and I just never thought of nothing like that to even to think about it. I would just kind of just go about my, you know, see the kids and then go about there. You know, I never bothered to like ask. And that was the last time I asked about Jordan.
So this is spring of 2017?
Yeah, last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any idea? Warmer, colder?
It was around, I don't remember. It had to be like early spring, I would say. Early spring, close, right around there. Maybe March around there, I would say. Had to be around March, last time I ever asked about him.
Did you ever see her interact with Jordan?
Not a lot. Not when in the past when I ever seen her, you know, come out to Jordan, be around the other kids or whatever. I mean, he would get in trouble and he would have to go sit down and stuff like that. But me seeing her like spank Jordan or beat on him in front of me, no, never, nothing like that. But there was times that she would sit Jordan down because he was acting up or something like that, but never nothing physical at all. Or never bad talking either. I never heard nothing like that come out of her mouth. You know, even with the other kids, I would never hear her like cuss them kids out or nothing. You know, like sometimes Anthony, sometimes he had like his temper tantrums, and you know, like she would make him go sit down. She'd be like, "Go sit down right now," or "You're going upstairs to your room for timeout." But she would take, you know, like there was one incident where Anthony was acting up. She took him upstairs to his room. He was crying, and she's like, "I let him cry until he starts calming down, and once he calms down, I let him downstairs." That's what she told me. And you know, I didn't think nothing of it. Just didn't think anything about it. You know, I never seen anything, her do anything abnormal in front of me in an actual visit when I was in the home. You know, never seen nothing like that. When I used to go to the visits, I was always in the one room. I never had one upstairs to her, the West ADF upstairs. I never had any part, never went upstairs at all.
So when you enter the house, are you talking about the room to the right?
Yes.
What would be a living room area?
The living room area, and then the other side, you know, you could see through or whatever. That was like the kids' toy area. Like she had that area for the kids to play with.
Okay. How long has Chris Rodriguez been in her life?
I would say about 2 years. Maybe I think it's 2016. That's when she met him. And from what I know, from what she told me, she met him in Facebook. That's how she met him. And then a couple months later, I guess, I mean, I had went to the visit and he was staying with her. When I met him and stuff like that, he, like, towards the visit, he would come and greet me, like, hi, but he would never, like, really interacted much in the visit. He would always go upstairs. You know, sometimes he will be like, "How you doing?" or whatever, and you know, or come downstairs for a minute if he had to ask Larissa something, but then he would go upstairs to the room. So he never was involved really in none of the visits. It was always one-on-one with Larissa and the kids that were in the program.
When I interview Larissa, she talks about someone that she refers to as her counselor.
There used to be a counselor that used to come out there. I mean, because she used to get a counselor for her. She used to have a counselor that used to come out for herself. Mm-hmm. But then I think she stopped them services. So for mental health, there was a counselor that used to come out for mental health. She was pregnant, and I think that she stopped coming out to the home. or she stopped working for the agency. Hold on, maybe she might have stopped working for the agency. And after that, she really she didn't want services no more because it wasn't the same worker that she had once. She had gotten pregnant, but I don't know too much. I never met her. I don't know who that was. And she had helped her with a few things. That girl had helped her out with some furniture or some baby things too. So I don't know, but I never worked with her like that, or I don't know who she was. I just know that she would come out for Larissa.
What does she refer to you as?
Well, she knew I was Bright Beginnings, the Bright Beginnings parent educator.
Well, I know you're a parent educator, but does she in any way think you're her counselor?
No, I don't know. She never has, not that I ever knew, she never referred to me as a counselor.
Does she ever refer to you as Ma?
Yeah, she used to call me Ma, yeah. That's I think that's real common though. Like it's like a Hispanic type of thing. A lot of people do that. Like they were like, "Hey Ma, come here, Ma." That's like a more like that's not really like I don't know. I never took it in any way because I've heard that before. People say Ma or whatever.
Right. Believe me, I get it. My daughter's Hispanic, so I understand. The thing that concerns me in the situation that you may be in is that if malnutrition factors into this, I don't want you to go under the bus because of that. Because at the end of the day, I think it's her. It's her and it's him. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
My fear is for you is that people will view you as a social worker, and you're not.
No.
And if malnutrition should factor into the cause of death, then they may make a giant leap. Who knows what giant leap they'll make anyway?
What that means is something giant leap.
Insert their own opinion. Think that you did something here that actually you may not have. So if you saw them ever abuse these kids, that's important for us.
I never seen it. I never seen Larissa Rodriguez abuse the kids in front of me. Not at all.
Okay. Did she ever tell you that Chris abused her?
No, she said that they had gotten in an argument or something like that. They did, but she never told me that he would hit her or nothing like that. I don't know nothing about that. She said that they got in a few arguments or whatever, and he was very jealous. That's one thing I do know, that he was very jealous. She told me that he was very jealous. But for me to know that she never told me that he physically hit her or nothing like that. Never, no. And I don't know nothing
check on
about it.
her Facebook account and things like that? Remember? Did you mention something to me that he would check on her Facebook?
Oh yeah, he used to. Yeah, she did tell me that. She told me that he would look at her phone to check on her Facebook and things like that. But for her to tell me that he ever beat her, she never told me nothing like that. Not at all.
So you never saw her beaten up?
No, I never seen her
with any marks on her.
No. And then like the visits we had together, they were always scheduled. Like I would never go to her house unexpectedly. So all the visits, she knew when I was coming out to that home. She knew. I never at no moment came out to the house like say, okay, I'm just gonna come to her house unexpected. I never did that. She always knew when I was coming out to that home. And if it wasn't a good time, she'd be like, it's not a good time today to come out. So I don't know. I never came out unexpectedly, that's for sure. And the only reason I would come out there is, the visits or whatever. We didn't have no other, like me visiting her just to visit her. Never, nothing like that.
Well, I can't fathom that would be a house where either of you two would visit socially or want to sit in. Can you describe to me what the conditions of the home were?
When we used to come out to the visit, everything was organized. There was the stuff, everything was together, Like she didn't live, she's poor. She was very poor, needy or whatever. She didn't live like she, like nothing big, like she didn't have a lot of some of the furniture, almost all her furniture was given to her from different resources or different sources. When I would go to the home or whatever, everything was organized. Like it was even though she didn't have much or whatever, everything was together. I never noticed a big mess in that house. You know, I never came to the home and everything's just thrown everywhere and there's a mess and something really bad, like everywhere, like outrageous. Because she always knew when I was coming out.
Well, is it clean?
It was organized. It was organized. The house was organized.
But not clean?
No, it was clean. Like the sofas was together, nothing on the floor except the kids' toys if they were playing. The other room was the toy room. So when it was the toy room and stuff like that, the toys would be a little everywhere, whatever. That was their toy room.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only.
So you
area.
never observed roaches in there, or
she
vermin?
had problems with rats because she had told me that she had problems with rats. She didn't. When I was there, she never said nothing about the roaches. She really didn't.
Rats
bring that.
in the house?
She had issues with rats, rodents. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, and from what I know is the last time the housing, because that was a low income housing.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was supposed to be bringing like stuff out for the rats, because that's the last time I know that she had a rat problem, because she told me that she had a problem with rats, with the rodents.
May I say something?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, when we are looking at the news, all this story evolving, that we kind of heard as we're watching that the conditions in the house were terrible and this and that and the other. like she said, I don't know if it was the fact that she knew that she was coming that day and will make sure that she'll pick up. But as we're looking at the news, she's like, I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that they're saying about the conditions inside. Also, Nancy mentioned to me, I don't know if you will make sure that she'll clean up that day, knowing that she was coming or not, but she was kind of like not agreeing with how they were saying that the conditions of the house inside were.
Well, I think
supposed to be.
you have to kind of take into account the source. One of which is Anna, who I call drama, for lack of a better way to put it.
Yes.
And the media is going to sensationalize anything, and that's my fear for you, that they're going to sensationalize this and make this something that it's not.
You think they get all of this? What happened with her?
We're trying to avoid that.
How are you trying to avoid that?
Because we didn't tell anyone that we were coming to your house. Obviously we didn't take you into custody. We didn't charge you. And so the minute that we charge someone with something, Cleveland.com gets a hold of it downstairs. And then they know what's going on. Do you understand?
Right.
So we try to be careful about what we're doing in terms of arresting or charging people sends a red flag up the pole to the news media. Whatever happens with your case is what happens with your case. We don't want it to be any bigger for you than it is. And it's hard enough. Who is your friend Jennifer through DCFS? You have a contact at DCFS named Jennifer?
No, Jennifer she works for me in my agency. Well,
she has a contact at DCFS?
DCFS?
Yeah, the Department of Children and Family Services.
I don't know who I used to have my old coworker's name was Jennifer at St. Martin de Porres. She's a parent educator, but that's the only Jennifer. Others.
Right. So on December 19th, you and Jennifer, your friend, whoever she is, have a conversation about being friends with someone at DCFS.
Oh, she had told me that you know what? Because I don't know, it wasn't me. It was she does a group, and I think she knows somebody from DCFS, and I think she spoke to somebody, and they gave her some information.
Okay, so we're gonna have to reach out to Jennifer and talk with her, and the other detective will do that.
Okay.
But you see how all those roads converge.
Yes.
And so how we're trying to help you avoid that is by not arresting you. at this juncture,
Mhm.
and me treating you as a witness to hopefully serve the greater good, which is to make sure the rest of these kids turn out okay, and to hold the two people responsible that did this. Have you had any indication that Larissa's abused by Chris, as she alleges to me? She alleges to me that she's a victim in this.
I think if whatever, he never, like, in front of me, he never showed any, like, I don't know what happened there when I left, you know. All I know, he might have been a certain way with her, like, you know, but other than, like, physically abusive, I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. But I know that he had, like, a lot of, you know, like, I think that he had a lot of control over the things that she did, like with the phone and jealousy and things like that. Like, things were the way that he said, you know. But me knowing any type of abuse, I don't know nothing like that.
Weren't you also suspicious about her financial needs to help him out in his? He had gotten arrested and things like that, and it was under the impression that she was helping him out.
Yeah, she was helping him out because she would say that she was giving him money in the books. You know. I mean,
You mean in July when he's arrested?
Yeah, back in July, yeah.
And before that, no? So another time?
I don't remember. I think July was the time that he was in jail. And then recently, when he went
Right, he gets violated again. They violate his probation, and so he goes back into jail, and that's when all of this sort of mushrooms to a head.
When I was in the visits, like, I mean, I don't know if it was just a poker face or just the act of showing me or whatever. I would see Larissa feeding the main kids that were in the program. There was a couple of times she would sit them on the floor, and they didn't sit on the table, of course, because they didn't have a table. But they would sit on the floor and eat. They would have their bread and a bowl of food or something, macaroni and cheese. I think I seen them eating, and you know, I did see them. That one time I remember observing that, seeing them sitting and eating their lunch. I wouldn't say I would always see that, but I did observe that, you know. And I never really observed, like, that they were hungry, and that's one thing I never noticed. I never noticed that they were hungry. They seemed to be always clingy to Larissa, especially Anthony. He was very clingy to Larissa. It seemed like he loved her a lot, honestly. Like, you'd be at the visit and he would be kissing and hugging her. He seemed like he loved her a lot, you know. Tatiana was more independent. She's one of them that would seem to do her own thing, would focus on something that she was doing. Mia, when she started walking, and as she got in the last couple of months, in the last visit, I remember she was really close to Mom too. She wanted Mom, but she was also starting to walk and trying to get around by herself and things like that. But Anthony was always very, very, very clingy to Mom. Like, he'll always be like wanting Mom all the time, you know. Jordan, I never seen him, you know.
In the times that you didn't see him much over the last year?
No, I didn't see him. Not at all.
So
she told me that someone was caring for him. That's what she told me.
But the year prior?
I seen him a few times, you know. I think the prior year, like maybe before. Oh God, it's kind of hard because since I didn't work with him, it's kind of taking me back there, trying to think about this.
And it's gonna bother you.
Yeah.
I know this bothers you.
I think it was
It
he was
bothers
getting
me.
he was getting ready for school or something, and I remember her talking about that he was getting ready for school, a special school. But other than that, I thought honestly he was in school. I didn't think nothing of it, so I really didn't ask a lot of questions towards it, you know.
Does he appear healthy and well then, or?
Yeah, he appeared healthy and well.
Does he have all his hair at that time?
Yeah, he had hair at the time.
Did you ever see him when she puts the pull-up over his head?
No, not at all.
Does he have a bond with his mother?
I never seen that. Like, I never seen him close to Larissa like that, like holding or something like that, or clingy to.
Who does he have a bond to?
I don't know. I'm not really sure. You know, I really don't know. And, you know, I'm not sure. And I know Mariana was the oldest. She helped out a lot, and helped mom a lot. She was, she seemed like she loved her mom a lot. And Milton too. Milton, that's the other brother. Like Jordan, I really, like I said, I never seen him much. So besides maybe last year, 2016, that was probably the last time I could remember maybe seeing him and glancing at him or whatever. Other than that, I didn't see him.
Did you ever know Jake?
Yeah, I met Jake before.
He's
Tatiana's
father?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Does it appear to you that Jordan has a bond with Jake?
Yeah, because that's during that they were together for a little bit, but I never seen them interacting like that. I really don't know, because I really didn't see a lot of, when I would go to the visit, I didn't see Jake interacting with Jordan. I mean, if that was something that was happening, it was probably when I was gone, during the day-to-day.
Well,
but he was around when Jordan was around, Jordan,
right.
and he lived with Larissa. They were together as a couple.
And from what I've learned, Jake did have a relationship with Jordan. So Jordan doesn't have a problem with an inability to attach to another human being.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. But the individual who gave birth to him doesn't have an attachment to him.
I remember
which she admitted to me. I'm
Okay.
sorry to cut you off.
back in when she lived in West what is it, West 97 visit, when she lived there with Jake. Was it West 97? Around, it was when she lived with Jake or whatever. Jake at the time, her and Jake were living upstairs, and that I know for a while there, DCFS was involved. There was a lady coming out to the home there, and I don't know if if it was something with at the time when it had to do with Nevaeh,
And Christopher Upton? Do you know him?
No. Oh, wait a minute. I met him once, but I don't know him like that. I met him a long time ago. Just, introduction, but I don't know him like that.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense to me. A piece of the puzzle that you're putting together there. But I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No,
DCFS was involved?
Yeah, during that time, I remember DCFS. They came and they were involved, and I guess there's some accusations that were made with Nevaeh or whatever, and I guess the court decided to go to custody. From what Larissa was telling me, that the court gave custody to Chris.
That's accurate. And the accusations involve Mariana and Nevaeh.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, do you know, or did you ever observe Mariana being the one that was told to discipline those children?
No, not at all. No. Not at all. I never have noticed. She would ask her to do things like, can you go get this or do that, or, get that away from your brother or something like that, but I never, never seen that.
I'm really concerned for her. I don't know how you resurrect that.
Cause when
she's learned a lot of inappropriate things.
When I used to go out, even now when I would come out to the home or whatever, she was in school most of the time, so I never really seen her or Milton much unless they were off.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever them days that they happened to be off or they missed school or something like that, I mean, I wouldn't she would be quiet. She was always quiet, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. Always quiet. She really didn't even talk to me. She didn't interact much with me.
Okay.
So always very quiet.
Give me 1 second. Let me check on something,
Okay.
and then I'll get you out of here.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
I do. said that Jennifer gonna be interview her coworker?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think that she knows about the situation with the other detective and that Nancy's involved.
And I don't think that the individual who's going to do that interview is going to explain it very clearly to her.
I mean, she lost her job already. The detective went to her house. We went to her job, and she told her boss everything about what's going on. Lost her job. But even when she was let go, usually they send an email and to alert the rest of the employees there or whatever. They did it in a positive note, not disclosing what happened. As far as the food stamps or whatever.
And I don't think that I don't know what Habib is going to reveal during his interview, but I think that he's discerning. He's a smart guy. Nobody wants to see you go under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Did the kids look malnutrition?
No, they don't. But based on the investigation and based on the fact that this child, the investigation leads me to believe that he was deprived of food. That he was kept isolated because he is special needs, and for lack of a better way to phrase it, he's a bit of a pain in her ass, and she doesn't have the patience for him. So it's been, there have been a number of people in here that have made statements that have indicated that he endured some very heavy-handed discipline.
I never witnessed, like I said, he was never there. So that's why I'm to be thinking to myself, I'm like, well, Jordan was never, when I did the visits, Jordan was never present to my presence. Like, I never would see him.
Because he was kept upstairs in a room or in the closet.
That's what I was telling Nancy, that maybe, that he was being hidden while she did her visit.
And that's not uncommon. In my career, I've had one other scenario in which a child was kept from people, from either social workers or the county, or and they did it just because they were no people. It didn't matter who it was that told this particular individual that she had to comply with A, B, and C. Her response was always going to be this. And I'm not talking about Larissa, I'm talking about another case that I handled. And that particular child was kept out of the public eye, and he had a brother that was 366 days younger than he was, and they passed that child off as him. So I know this is going to bother you. If it doesn't bother you, there's something wrong with you.
Me, I've cried. I said, I've said to myself, why didn't I ask more questions? That I'm always, I believed her. I would always believe everything she would say. I didn't think nothing. She would sit there and just be like a normal mom. Tatiana's doing this. Anthony's getting ready to be potty trained. I mean, I didn't, the way she interacted with the kids, I just didn't think nothing of it, But and when you get past this is a bump in your road, Nancy. This doesn't define who you are. When you get past this and you look in your rearview mirror, you'll realize that she's probably should be clinically diagnosed as a sociopath. She's that good at what she does. She's good at making people think that she's whatever she needs to be to get whatever she wants. With you, we all know what she wanted. With me, she wants to deflect all of her responsibility and say, he did it all.
And I'm a victim too. I never put the sock in Jordan's mouth after he got the shit beaten out of him to make him shut up. I never did that to him. In fact, I had a sock in my own mouth when I tried to scream for help. But the investigation doesn't bear that out. So,
You guys can tell more or less dates how long it was buried?
it's not like TV.
No. It's different.
It's very different.
So it's
You
hard
don't-
to
we
come
never-
up
we don't
with
never have-
months.
Well, I mean, we have a time frame, but part of that time frame is contingent upon people and memories, and some of that's give or take a little. And then some of the people that you get the information from, they don't really have much inspiration to tell the
Sorry,
truth.
I need 1 minute.
I'm sorry. It never ends around here. So, what were we talking about? Were you asking me a question?
Oh, the time frame of the body and that.
So, some of this information you can't repeat when you leave here
Oh.
to anyone. Jordan was horribly abused with rib fractures, wrist fractures, all in different stages of healing. And we know that based upon calcification on the bones. So then the question becomes, what is his cause of death? We don't know that. Her assertion is that he died as a result of a birth defect, or he died naturally, which doesn't seem very logical to me. But a lot of this stuff we have to prove one way or the other to be able to charge them appropriately. So she's charged under murder B, which means she had some responsibility to get him health care, and she didn't do that. And that kind of stinks, because that other case I talked to you about, I went the same route with that case, and that kid had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is 93% curable in all children. My own nephew that grew up in Bayamon had it.
Oh.
Yeah. And he's fine today. He's fine. And I'm quite sure that that child would have been fine too. The parents only got 8 years for that. So, there's no doubt in my mind this kid was abused. We just don't know to what degree. And if malnutrition factored into it, and you have this other thing looming out there, people will jump to the conclusion that you were actually taking food out of his mouth, and that's not fair. That's why we don't want to arrest you. We don't want to run the flag up the flagpole.
So what are the chances of her being charged?
I don't know. At some point, you'll have to be charged with something. I don't know what, but it ain't the end of the world.
But that can bring about all those things that you're trying.
Well, that's what we're trying to avoid. That's what we're trying to avoid. Because I don't think you did anything maliciously.
But she felt, man. She allowed her emotions to get, not saying that it was beneficial, but this is going to be disconnected. This other thing's going to be disconnected. Needs microwave went bad. To take microwave over there.
Yeah, I mean, let's not even go down that road. It was a mistake. It's separate from this, in my mind. Is that fair?
Just never seen, like I said, I would believed her when she told me that someone was caring for Jordan. I would go there, I never seen Jordan. The kids were the ones that were in the program for bright beginnings, all three of them, they would always be present. They would be present. Jordan was never, so I never really asked about Jordan, except the one time, and she said somebody was caring for Jordan, and I left it like that. I never went upstairs, we don't have that that ability to go upstairs in our houses, because we're not DCFS. Everything would always be downstairs, right in the couch, in her couch.
She knows exactly what she has to do and what she has to be to get out of you what she wants. And anything she got from you didn't ever go to those kids. I can guarantee you that.
She claimed to it was utilities a lot of times, being disconnected and this and that, supposedly.
Well, she purported to me that she always worked. I didn't need the money when I said, listen, you didn't get him medical care because that would have taken the lid off the box. And then everybody would have known that he was being mistreated for at least the last 24 months of his life. He was a paycheck to you. He was $740 a month. And then she offered to punch me in the nose, which I believe her. She probably would have.
She always used to make it. I used to feel sorry for her, because when I used to look at her, I used to see just somebody just struggling so hard. That's what just trying to, in poverty, trying to make it.
Right.
And take care of her kids. That's what I used to see. That's what I seen.
At what point are you creating your own poverty, though? I'm not judging her.
She's pregnant now.
I know.
That's
creating your own poverty.
When she told me about that this last time, before everything broke, how irresponsible.
Exactly. So
you're trying to keep yourself or continue to go back, not protecting to get pregnant.
I could only feel so sorry for you.
Yeah, when she told me, even before all this came about, that Larissa was pregnant again, I'm like, I felt like everything that, including everything that we had taken over there to kind of help her, I'm like, no, man, she doesn't, you know what I mean? It's like, does anybody help?
That's one of the number one things they say about a sociopath. Beware the person that can make you feel sorry for them. She's living in parasitic relationships off the backs of her children. She could work. She could work. She chooses not to. She could not get pregnant again. She chooses not to, right?
She was, it seemed like protection was not a big thing, and getting her tubes tied was not a big priority for her. It didn't seem like that, because she was like, oh, I'm thinking about doing it. Never would do it.
Sign there for me. And the final thing for her at the end of it is, I'm the victim here. I'm the victim. She's not the victim. She's not the victim. She created this scenario in which this happened, and she was part and parcel to it. I don't know who killed this child, but I know 2 people that are responsible for it. And I know one little girl that feels responsible for it, and she's not. She's a little girl.
Oh my God. Have you guys had questioned the kids too?
Yes.
Oh God.
Yes, and
Oh,
and
God.
and I know that little girl is not surprised to hear that her brother's dead. She knew he was dead. I know she knew he was. I should say, my gut tells me she knew he was dead. She didn't ask me how he died, and she didn't ask me where I found him.
Oh. She saw.
What would that tell you?
She knew.
And she feels responsible because I believe that she was made to discipline them in a similar manner. So,
And she was, like I said, she was always, anytime that she was there, she was always quiet. She didn't really never speak or nothing like that. I would be like, hi, Mariana. She would just say hi and never speak. You know, she never talked or nothing.
You got a heck of a job, man.
I can't wait to retire.
Oh my gosh. You need to reset him to delete.
Yeah, I need the
type of
Men in Black light in my eyes
Because the type
to
of
forget
things
it all.
that you hear, see, and tough stuff.
So, that's for you.
Okay.
When you leave here, I wouldn't tell anyone anything that we talked about. No one. Talk about it with each other, support each other, but remember that anyone you talk to could and may or may not. I mean, when this goes to trial, who knows who would sell whatever for whatever. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
And anything that you say could be taken out of context or used against you, and then there's just no reason for it.
Like I said, she hasn't even disclosed anything that happened with Happy, only with her boss, and they haven't even disclosed it with anybody else. So we haven't talked to.
That's because she had to know, because the all the files got subpoenaed and stuff
Mhm.
like that, and so you know she had to know about other information. I've been open with her, you know, and like with the last time or whatever, I told her the truth about the other situation. I lost my job,
Mm-hmm.
so you know I try to be as open and honest as I possibly can.
And believe me, when Jennifer gets interviewed, she'll get the same speech. Don't leave here and talk to anyone about anything that we've discussed, because it will mushroom into something that will eclipse what's really taken place here. And what's really taken place here is the murder of a little boy who didn't ask to be here.
because she's doing this group thing. It's something for the stuff that she's going through. It's like a domestic. I'm not sure if it's domestic, but it might be a domestic violence for the stuff that she's going through. I don't
Personally?
know. Personally, because she's dealt with a lot in the last 2 years or whatever. But I guess she had said that one of the girls in the group, she works for DCFS, and she was a social worker.
Right.
And that's how that came to be.
Mm-hmm.
And now, now I'm kind of scared. I'm thinking like, well, is Jennifer like talking to other people about this? Because that's not a good thing, like I'm wondering, but I didn't think nothing of it,
Well, Habib will most likely speak with her. And I've known Phil Habib for 26 years.
Mm-hmm.
We like to joke with each other that we're the longest relationship of each other's lives.
Really?
Because we started out together in county jail. But I don't know anybody that ever left a conversation with Phil Habib that didn't take him seriously. If he said, listen, if you go out of here and talk about this, it's going to be bad for you. I promise you it'll be bad for you.
So he'll probably disclose about the food stamp with her. That's part of it.
I don't know if he does. Jennifer won't leave that meeting thinking that it's okay to talk about it.
Yeah, she like I said, like she don't know about that. Like the people that know are my old boss and the director, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and they had to send that out to the funders, and they're the main people that are co-workers at the agency or nothing like that. They don't have no idea,
Well, some of it we can help you avoid, some of it we can't. I feel pretty strongly that if we go to trial, I'd be sitting at the table while you testified, and we'll get through it together.
What type of things you say you'll be able to help her avoid?
I can help you avoid some of people talking by not arresting you, by not making your life any worse. The rest of it, if you're called to testify in Larissa's trial, if there should be one, we just got to go through it together. Because while they're saying you're A, B, and C, believe me, when I get on the stand, they're going to say I'm A, B, and C. So we're going to go through it together. It won't be the first time I've been through it. It might be your first time, but it'll be okay. This is a bump in your road. You'll look back upon this and think, it wasn't a lot of fun, but I'm okay. And I'm a better person for it. I don't really think you did anything to be malicious. I think you were manipulated by her.
Is she going to trial? Do you guys know?
I don't know yet.
Right now it's hard to...
It's much too soon for me to say, but my guess would be, if I had to guess, that the prosecutor's office will try to give her the worst charges they can give her. And she may not have much inspiration to not go to trial.
So what's the difference if she was to say, oh, I want to go to trial? I mean, if she already knows that she's facing all these different, what's the difference?
I'm not sure I understand your question.
Like if she, I don't know, like you're saying, like she's already being charged and, being charged and stuff.
She's charged under murder B,
So
which is
why-
15 years to life.
Why would she want to go to trial? Like, what would want to make her go to trial?
She may think that we can't prove the case.
Oh, I see.
So she may want to roll the dice. She may think, I don't deserve 15 years. She may become defiant and decide, well, you're going to have to prove your case.
Okay.
Is he denying too, or he's not being cooperative?
He hasn't talked.
Really? How come he hasn't been charged?
because there's only 24 hours in a day, because I'm still getting cases on top of it, because we don't have a cause of death, and because he's already in jail, there's no need to rush to do it.
Time. Okay.
I have a little bit of time,
Yeah.
but there's not much doubt in my mind that he will be charged in a similar manner.
And they're still trying to investigate the cause of death. There's still nothing has come back. What's the cause of death?
So
Besides what you were saying.
yeah, it gets really tricky once a body is mistreated in the manner he was mistreated.
I wonder what made him call and tell his brother something like that.
Guilt.
That's a confession there, no? Well, to some.
It's a confession to abuse of a corpse. But he's not saying,
I did it.
I did this. I did A,
Or
B,
she
and
did.
C. Or she did A, B, and C. They're both saying this kid died of natural causes, and we just buried him because we didn't want the DCFS in our business, which isn't logical. If he died of natural causes,
You call somebody.
I'm not afraid.
Yeah, and that's, yeah,
If the truth is the truth, you
Yeah.
have nothing to fear.
true.
But if you abused a child and he's got a bunch of broken bones, or you starved him,
Yeah,
then you might have something to hide.
yeah. Makes sense to bury and not call anybody. I guess. That's pretty wild, man. Human beings. That other case the other day with the 13 siblings, I'm trying to understand shit like that. I'm like, in California, what the hell? A mother took two kids in the oven. I don't know if you heard about that. Several months ago. How can you hear you know they're gonna scream from the heat inside the oven. You gotta be.
I spent 10 years in sex crimes and child abuse.
Wow. Sure you've seen some stuff.
But we'll get through it. Don't get all down in the mouth. Keep a positive attitude. If you need something, call me. If something's going to come out, if I can forewarn you, I will.
If something was to any charges, when do you think that'll happen?
I don't know.
Months?
Could be months. If I arrest you, I have 180 days to put up or shut up. If you remain in jail, I have 90 days to put up and shut up. If I don't arrest you, which you weren't arrested, I have 270 days to take care of business. So you're down to about 263. But the good thing about whatever charges there are, let's get it over with. It can be therapeutic.
Does that mean I'm gonna go to jail?
I hope not. I don't think you need to go to jail.
She's been doing the job that she loves. She's been doing it for. She can never get back into that field. The only thing that she knows is been doing it for how long now?
Since '97, I've been doing this for a long time. This is the first time I never had a case of nothing like this. First time. You know.
You did that for a long time. You have a lot of knowledge. If they won't let you do that, you'll go do something else.
That's right.
sometimes it's hard. I'm like so angry at myself with all of this. I'm just like, you know, very mad at myself.
I can tell you're angry. Your expression hasn't changed not one time since we sat here. Don't be too hard on yourself. At the end of the day, you can always volunteer for something. I'm gonna be a baby holder when I retire.